I put my hand up and then I put it down because I thought maybe this wouldn't be the best question or you wouldn't want to hear it. But I've been involved in lots of different organizations and things like this, and I not things like this, but just organizations in general, and I found that they get such a head of steam going and they attract so many people, and I'm kind of not a believer in what you're doing because it's not a religion, but I'm here, I believe I have your books and I have all that stuff, and but I see people coming to these things over and over and over again, and they get all the books and they get all the tapes and they get all the CDs and the Thing of the Month program.
Who is here for the first time? Turn around.
Oh, I'm not being a skeptic. We just
thought that we would clarify that.
Of course, yes. I'm sure there's tons of people here for the first time. But I'm just wondering, from your perspective, if you get frustrated with people sort of showing up over and over and maybe not making progress in the way you think that they might if they applied things.
In most cities, it's like this. Most people are new.
Right.
But we appreciate those who return because, in fact, Jerry and Esther say frequently that it feels to them because they stay on the road,
right,
and they're moving from city to city, and this is their favorite part of life. And they say it feels to them like the same group moves from city to city to city because there is this sort of collective consciousness that is expanding. And so we don't feel frustration. Frustration is not in that vibrational vicinity, but we get what you're talking about.
It's kind of the church thing where people keep showing up and not applying, but they keep showing up. They don't actually do anything with it. They just go there.
Well, you see, the most important thing to help you to realize why we never feel frustration about this particular topic is that you can't stop having your step one experience. So there's nothing for any of us to do about that. So no frustration there because the contrast is serving you exactly right. No frustration with step two because when your life causes you to ask, we all get the benefit of riding that rocket and becoming what you've asked for. And so your question is, do we ever use you as our excuse to tune ourselves away from where we are? That's what frustration would be.
I guess so, yeah.
And the answer to that is no, we never do that.
Right.
And if we did do that, then
you wouldn't be you.
And we would defy our reason for being, and our relationship with you would not be as it is.
Do Jerry and Esther get disappointed seeing some of the same faces over and over and no progress in their life? Or?
Well, it's interesting that you bring something up about that because we have said to them right from the beginning, there is never a crowd on the leading edge. And Jerry was determined. He was adamant about it. In fact, he did not want followers. He did not want an organization. He resists the idea even of forums or of anything that causes a collection of people to come and any dependency to begin. And so you're hitting upon something that's important to both of them, and it's inherent in what we know too.
I'm glad.
So Jerry and Esther, their attitude has been, let's live the art of allowing. Let's be what we are. Let's offer our vibration. In fact, as Jerry was talking just now about the attitude of Hay House, that was the pitch that Louise Hay and her executives gave to them the day that they met with them to discuss the perpetuation and publishing of their materials. Louise said to them, we will allow this to be. We won't pitch it. We will allow it. We will present it and allow law of attraction to find it, but there will be no hype around these materials. And that settled in just right with Jerry and Esther. So now getting back to the essence of your question, do they feel frustration when someone else doesn't get it? The only frustration that we ever see Esther or Jerry, for that matter, feel is when they don't get it. In other words, when they've expanded to a place and they have not allowed themselves to go there, their frustration is only about them not going there. So if they were to see themselves as teachers of better lifestyles, which they do, they see themselves that way, and they were to explore the contrast and they were to see many people not get it, let's say, and out of people not catching on, not being ready for it, they were to launch a rocket of desire that they are looking forward to people finding the ease and satisfaction that they have felt. And then they were to look at those that they've determined aren't getting it and use them as their excuse to not go where they have gone. Then Jerry and Esther would feel frustration. But they're wise enough now to not do that so much. Of course, sometimes, and here's the closest thing to that we can find in their vibration. Sometimes someone will invite them to dinner, and sometimes they go. And sometimes that person who they know, who's been part of this, who's up to speed with it, who knows about the stream, who knows about law of attraction, who knows about vibrational escrow, who knows about the vortex, who knows about law of attraction, sometimes that person who they know knows all of that stuff will bring someone with them who doesn't know that stuff. And then dinner isn't fun.
Right.
Because they can't talk about what matters to them. They have not had a law of attraction coming together. They've had a forced coming together. So they've learned to let things happen. They don't like to plan too much.
Like surgeons having dinner with a first-year college freshman or something. They can't really talk about all the
Well,
cool
the thing about it
surgery
is,
stuff,
you know, some of the people who are just coming to it, life has prepared them for asking. And as long as someone is in a place where they're asking, it doesn't matter to Jerry or Esther or any of us where they are in relationship to their understanding of this. If their asking is bright and their resistance isn't much, then we will all have a very good time together. In the beginning, Jerry and Esther thought, well, because there were, as you said, some people who came and came and came. For a while, they only moved around Texas. And so once a month, they were in San Antonio, and then once a month, they were in Houston, and once a month, they were in Dallas, and once a month, they were in Austin. And so they were meeting a lot of the same people, but always new people too. So Jerry and Esther got a very good idea. Let's have an old-timers meeting in every city, and let's have a newcomers meeting in every city. So for a few months, they did that until they discovered everyone came to both meetings. No one wanted to miss anything. And then they began to discover that it doesn't matter how new or long someone has been steeped in the material, it is their life that is causing them to ask. And if someone's in a fresh place of asking, they came to trust that we would find a way to bring them into closer proximity of hearing. And you got to understand, it's not our goal or their goal to get anyone to know what we know. We're not trying to get people to live what we teach or to want what we want. It is our desire that life lets people know what they want. In other words, individual lives cause individuals to create their individual vortexes. All we want to do is to give you the basics so that you can find a way to fulfill what your life has caused you to become. So when this really works, what happens is this group of people who are vibrationally similar in the sense that they know they create their own reality, create very diverse realities, you see. So the old gathering together in the attitude of sameness will never work in a forum like this.
Right.
There's too much independence and too much freedom seeking. Very good. Something more?